So go to ocbusa.com/hi. Make sure you check out what they got going on there. And if you use our code HI, you will get 4 booklets plus the rolling tray for only $4.99. So check it out. Don't miss out on that deal. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Because We Got High. I'm mad at everody in this room besides Brianna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brie.
Damn.
Thank you. How do
Called
you
out.
feel about the people in this room right now?
Knew Kelly wasn't going to wake up. And I'm surprised that Noah was like, just push it off. It's whatever.
I'm not surprised.
Because
Well, yeah.
But he was so 9 o'clock.
Exactly. He could have said push it off when I said let's not do 9 a.m.
Let's be honest. Noah was being a real teacher. You know,
I was being a real teacher.
When?
when you said
Like the other
when
day?
you said
When we scheduled this 9 a.m.
Because I just
attempt.
was like, it's usually a back and forth forever. And I'm like, we just have to say 9
You
a.m.
just have to say it.
I get that,
I
but
was-
9
I
a.m.
was
is not
ready.
the time.
Bree and here, myself and Bree. Yeah, Bree is in here. Myself and Bree got here at 9 a.m. We were ready,
Were
and
you here both at 9 a.m.?
yes.
Yeah. We were up at 7.
Yeah,
ready to
we
go,
were ready to
yeah.
go. We got here at 9 a.m. Noah texted us. He's
We were
like,
the only people
"Oh,
in the
do you guys
office."
want to push off the recording till 11:45?" Kelly is nowhere to be found. She's not answering at all. And
Dead body.
Either way, here's the thing. I place 70% of the blame on Kelly, 30% on Noah, because if Noah never said, let's push this back, we still would have been fucked because
And
Kelly
also,
didn't wake up.
If
That's
Kelly
true.
had responded when I said, Kelly, like question mark,
Yeah.
and was like, oh, I'm
gave
ready,
her a while
I would
to
have come
respond.
in. I would have come in.
Yeah, no.
I
I
just wanted
lucked
to-
out big time this morning with that because my eyes were not even open. Like they were
Get
open
it
until
together.
10 of 9 because my laundry came. Like I had my laundry delivered, which is another thing that I forgot. I wouldn't have been able to get my laundry, so that would have been good. Or would have been bad. I'm happy
Do
for
you
that.
not set an alarm?
I forgot to set an alarm last night, Noah.
That's crazy.
Oh my
Get it
God.
together.
I know.
This
I
is not a
know.
joke anymore. Kelly
I know
thinks
it's
we're
not.
like, ha ha ha.
No,
Kelly
it's
sends
not
us-
a joke.
Kelly sends us a picture in the same clothes that she wore to work yesterday, this morning.
I fell asleep in
Listen,
them.
we.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
No, we encourage this every once in a while. Of course,
Yes.
we encourage a late night. Kelly wakes up in her same clothes that she wore yesterday. We do not encourage
That's a thing
this
that happens to me sometimes.
twice a week, every week.
No.
Yeah.
But it's
Upwards
been a
of,
while
like,
since
more
I
than
did that.
Upwards of more than twice.
It's been a while since it's happened and it's gotten in the way of something.
It was the last time that we recorded at 10 a.m. Kelly woke up at 10 a.m.
I wasn't. Yes, but I wasn't. That wasn't because I was out drinking. That was because I just was a dead body.
Yeah.
that was a different ailment.
It's time.
I know it's time.
It's time to
I
get
just
on a
can't- I
regular
just-
sleep schedule.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is the
the
thing.
drunk and high.
It's-
Saying
yeah.
you need an intervention.
Yeah,
here's
by
the
the way,
thing.
yeah, whatever. You were drinking at 9 a.m.
First of
you're
all-
welcome for the mimosas. Like what?
Bree texts me. She goes, "You want to just go get a boozy brunch before because neither we're not recording. Kelly's not waking up.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
Already
Bree and
up.
I went at
Yeah.
9 a.m. and we started drinking very early.
Everyone wants to throw stones from their glass house in this
Well,
room. That's what it seems.
Well, when you show up on time, you're allowed to go do that.
You're right.
Yeah,
that's true. That's absolutely true.
So we'll see what happens for the
It
next
was an
date that we
unfortunate.
prepared.
It was an unfortunate morning for me. I will say that, but I feel like I pulled it
happens.
together. Okay, I brought good vibes with me.
You look fabulous.
Thank
Yeah.
you for saying that. I
We're
brought good
matching.
vibes, so I'm sorry for pushing it off. But Noah also wanted to push it off, so it made me feel less guilty.
Yeah, 70-30.
70-30. I would say 80-20, but that's just
Oh
me.
please!
No,
Oh,
I was
please.
actually saying 90-10 earlier.
Oh,
yeah, he
please.
tried to tell me 90 I said no.
Come on, I did breathe a real sigh of relief though seeing those texts. I was like, thank God
Oh, yeah.
that we are pushing this because these girls would kill me.
Also,
for real, they would shoot
I
me right
had
in the
like
face.
written out the text like way earlier. Like it was
You should have
probably-
sent it way earlier.
No, I did. I thought I did, and then I fell asleep, and I woke up again, and then I checked to see your responses, and it still was like in the written thing,
Oh,
Damn.
and I sent it again
It just went up to 60-40.
Thank you.
because
After you should have kept that information in. It just
Yeah.
went right.
No,
Yeah.
I thought that would I really tried to get it out.
No,
early.
No,
no.
I also really tried to get up and I just didn't. So
Well, fuck the both of you. Let's move on with the show.
Yeah.
We've reached the T episode. It's therapy, truth, and Twitter. Let's dive right into it, folks. Are any of you in therapy? Kelly. Maybe
but I
you
should be.
sign up.
Let's sign her
I should
up.
probably
on the pod.
go.
Let's sign her up.
Honestly, I
What-
believe
what-
we have better
what
help
is
today.
stopping you?
It's expensive. That's
Okay.
literally it.
That's a
Sure,
fair
it's expensive.
answer.
Yeah,
That's a very
I have
fair
health
answer.
insurance now, so that's good. So I could go, but therapy's really fucking expensive. That's a problem, and I feel like people talk about that all the time in the way of like I can't go because it's too expensive. And usually I hear that and I'm like, whatever, you're lazy. But now,
BetterHelp is online and affordable.
Yeah, exactly. So
you
it's
could do it
perfect.
that
Yeah,
way.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's perfect there. So I should just sign up for that. But
You could do
yeah,
video
I don't know.
chat. Yeah, you should.
I
just
do love a
that.
video chat. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
love a video chat. But yeah, it's not the most ideal life without therapy. Are either of you in therapy? I know, Rhea, you go sometimes, right?
I don't go anymore, but I was going
used to,
for
yeah.
a few months. Except I don't think that therapy had helped me, but I don't think it was this big revelation for me that it is for other people. I encourage people to go to therapy 100%. I'm happy I did it, and it was a great thing. But I don't think that it was 100% what helped me.
Yeah.
Because I also think it depends on the therapist. I think that what I didn't do, which I think you should do, is test out some different therapists. Like, you don't
Totally
just
agree.
I just settled on one. I was like, okay, I got one, that's that. I'm just
in.
going to stick with this. Whereas some people, they don't vibe with their therapist, and then they check out other ones, and then they find the person that like really fits them. For me, there was a lot of things. I was very interested in her life, which I think it just comes from interviewing people all the time, that I was
Probably.
like, wanted to know about her. I was also cracking jokes constantly that she wasn't laughing at, because you know, when I always make jokes about uncomfortable things that happen in my life. It's just the way I am. I don't like to just like take it so seriously. Like, I like to joke around about it. And she wasn't having that. She wasn't really laughing at me. And
That's tough.
there weren't
not get laughed
there
at.
weren't
Awkward,
many.
yeah.
Yeah.
Awkward.
I was like, haha. And then it was like, okay, you don't think I'm that funny. And then there
don't like me, so I'm
were
leaving.
yeah. And then it was kind of like, I feel like therapy for some people is really good, because some people can't open up to other people, and then they find that safe space in therapy where they can talk to this person and tell them everything and really pour their hearts out. I can talk to anyone about any of my issues. I have no problem opening up to people. That may be one of my biggest issues. I open up way too quick to people. And so I feel like that was another thing where it was like, I think that therapy helps people in that way, but I wasn't struggling with telling people my feelings or talking to certain people. And she wasn't giving me many exercises to try, which I was looking for some exercises. And I would just go to therapy every week.
You wanted her to like give you an assignment.
Yeah,
tell
like
you
give
to
me
do
an
something.
assignment.
Yeah.
And I would tell her what was happening, and then she would repeat exactly what I said back to her, back to me, and be like, "That's what you said, right?" And I'd be like, "Yep." And she'd be like, "Okay."
That's it.
And that's really it. And then I would just talk the whole time, and then there wasn't really any sort of, you know.
I kind of felt that way when I
Homework.
when I went to I think maybe like 5 sessions of
Do you go
therapy
in person?
in person. Yeah, this is why like 2 years ago, maybe 3, and it was kind of like that. Like but I also don't have trouble opening up to people. I think that it's not that, like, if you can talk about your stuff, that's fine. It's more so like having somebody who is not your friend repeat it back to you to hear it in a different way. Because I feel like if I'm talking to my friends are going to take my side, whatever, or they're going to help me in whatever way, or they're going to like be good friends and like intervene a little bit. Like you know, we're joking around about how I'm like drinking all the time. I am.
Yeah, we're not joking.
Yeah, it's not a joke though. But you know what I mean? Like it's more it's easier for a professional to be serious with you versus like your friends. Does that make sense?
Getting an outsider's opinion.
Yeah.
Like tough love, because they will actually
little
like
bit.
tell you what you
Right.
need to hear. But I like sometimes when my friends need like help and I know what I should be saying, I know it will hurt them, so I'm like, no, I can't say that.
That has to stop. The way that people feel about
Yeah.
their friends and being like, no, I can't say that. That will hurt them.
Oh, I hate that.
You
shit
just
too.
have to be honest, because at the end of the day, your friend needs help.
100%.
Kelly.
I know.
I'm sorry. We're bagging on you too much
It's
now.
cool.
I'm
It's cool.
sorry.
No, I deserve it. But can I read you guys? I looked up I'm always looking up definitions. I looked up the definition of therapy, and to me, it seems like it's trying to keep people away. Here's what it is: a therapy or medical treatment is the attempted remediation of a health problem, usually following a medical diagnosis. As a rule, each therapy has indications and contradictions. There are many different types of therapy. Not all therapies are effective. Many therapies can produce unwanted adverse effects. That sounds like don't go to therapy to me,
Yeah,
right?
what the fuck?
A lot of
was
your
shocked by that.
definitions are extremely outdated. That's just the definitions.
These
in
are just
general.
definitions on like Google. Like if I Google therapy, that's what comes up. And I think that I Google everything all the time, but I feel like we don't pay attention to what we're Googling in a real way. Like I read that and I was like, what the fuck? That's not true. Like that can't be. Why are people reading that? Impressionable people who aren't taking a second to think about what the definition actually is will see that and be like, oh wow, therapy not for me.
Do you think
But it's
people
like,
are
maybe it is.
looking up what is therapy?
You never know. Some people might. I feel like that's something that like a parent would look up, or like a grandparent or something, like who has never even thought about going to therapy.
And then they would see that and say, oh no, I'm not letting my kid go.
Yeah,
Adverse
exactly.
reactions.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe actually. Because old people don't really believe in therapy. Like my parents are kind of like, what the fuck is therapy? What is mental health?
Right.
Yeah, my parents were like that for a while, and I've talked about this before. It was like my brother that really woke them up and being like, okay, I need to get to therapy, and now they're all about therapy. Like,
Yeah.
the reason I even went to therapy was because my parents were like, oh my god, you got to talk to someone. It's so great. And I was like, okay, thanks guys, because the years prior nobody helped me out here, and now we're in this position.
Yeah, literally. Now we're here. It's a tough thing. I also I looked up that since the pandemic, therapy's
old
increased.
Pandusky?
The old Pandusky. The
Panorama.
therapy's increased, and
Panera
now
bread.
64% of therapists work remotely. It's like all 64%.
Yeah, mine was video chat when
That's
I did
a
it.
lot.
That's a lot of shit like that. And then the other remaining percentages is a mixture between in-person and remote, not even like fully in person. I think that's kind of wild.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of not even just therapy these days, though. Like everyone realized that they can do a lot of the jobs that they do from their own home or just over video chat, which is kind of scary if you think about it. Do you think we're just going to reach a point in the world where
like
everyone's just via video chat? Because
Yeah,
I
I
don't
hate
like
that.
that at
I don't
all.
like that either.
Because then
In
you're
person,
home.
I'd like to hold your hands.
Yeah.
I'm a
Hold
social
my
butterfly.
hand.
Because then everything's at home. You don't have a place to go and like
Feel safe.
then
hold
you
it
can't be
forever.
creative. I don't know. I hate when people just want to work from home all the time. I like going out.
I feel the exact same. I have no energy when I'm at home. Like I have
Same. It's
energy
like, oh,
to do
well.
some things, but it's way easier just to like lay in my bed and do nothing. That's why I'm always out. Like I try so hard to be out all the time because it sucks at home.
Imagine how draining it is for a therapist to just sit on their computer in their home and just go next, next,
What's your
next.
problem? What's
yeah,
your
tell me
problem?
about it. And they're not getting any fresh air. They're just sitting there in
No.
their house all day listening to people's problems.
Yeah, fuck
that
that.
they're gonna need a therapist. Did therapists go to therapy?
They do.
They have to probably.
I learned that
Remember in
recently.
the Sopranos, his therapist?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do go to therapy. I feel like you have to be, that's probably like a level up therapist therapizes therapists. You know what I mean?
They must
Like
be
the-
so picky.
The top
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
top therapist.
Those main bitches.
Yeah, and they only-
they help.
But then did
Therapize therapists.
did the top therapists go to therapy as well?
they could just go to.
Maybe they're so good at
They don't
what they
need
do,
it.
they can therapize themselves.
They have like a robot therapist.
Yeah,
How do therapists think so deeply? Shrooms?
probs.
Do you think therapists do
wonder.
drugs?
I think they're just
I
pretentious.
bet they do.
Like you don't know what you're
Damn.
talking about.
Ouch.
I feel like-
Ouch to
Well,
therapists.
that's kind of how I felt with my therapist. Like, I was like, what qualifies you? I didn't ask these questions, but in my head, I was like, what makes her better than
Oh,
me?
you read the DSM-5 and you know me? Like, I don't know.
what is making
Probably the
you-
schooling, I would think.
Right.
Yeah, the school, probably.
I guess going to school for it.
Yeah,
Right.
going
but,
to school and like having a degree.
does school even
probably.
matter?
Who knows? Literally, who knows?
But it's like so generic and broad. I don't know. The book I'm reading is saying that everything about therapy, not therapy, but about psychology and psychiatrists, everything that they've learned is wrong, and like everything that we know is wrong.
Yeah,
So
I've heard that actually. We were
it's-
talking about that
What?
on Friday Night Pines
Yeah.
last week.
What
yeah.
do you mean everything that everybody has learned is wrong? We
It's just
everything's
like-
fake?
The book is it's called like We've Gotten Everything Wrong, and it's just like
Yeah.
you go back and literally all the thoughts that we have and like the beliefs, they're like based off of not factual things, and it's just like made up stuff.
Yeah, all the shit that they did research on back in like the days were incorrect. And so now we're just learning all this new stuff. There are many facets to the mind that nobody even thought of back then. I mean, like we were just talking about it. Our parents and grandparents barely know about therapy. Like they know about
Yeah.
it, but
And a lot of the
don't
curriculum
go.
at like in college or even to get your master's or PhD is still all the old stuff.
I guess that doesn't surprise me so much.
yeah.
Because it's not like there's obviously new research being done every single day, but how often are they printing new textbooks in school for people to learn from? No, it's the
true.
same shit over and,
And who's
over
going to
again.
pick up that new textbook? That's sketchy. Like they're going to stick to the old books that they
Right.
know. So
Yeah.
it's weird. No one knows what they're talking about, really.
Yeah, I think we should talk about the difference between a psychiatrist and a therapist. I feel like people
Absolutely,
get
we
that
should.
confused. Therapists are just, I think they just talk, right?
Yeah, therapists are there to have conversations and to help you like talk through issues, but they can't prescribe medicine or anything.
And I think a
Psychiatrist.
psychiatrist just gets on the video chat with you for 5 minutes and says,
Yeah.
"Oh, you need to re-up your prescription."
Yeah, pretty
Because
much.
that's what I've
Pretty
seen
much,
with like
yeah.
my parents.
You
or
need to fill up. Maybe need me to fill your script. Okay, that'll be $600.
Or like people who are prescribed Adderall, they're like, "Oh, we just need to meet for a second, and
Yep.
we'll give you a new prescription." They
Yeah.
talk for 2 seconds, like, "Okay, here's your Adderall."
There
Yep.
is the initial meeting with a psychiatrist that is longer when they have to
They
figure out what's up.
evaluate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the evaluation.
Have you guys
yes.
ever been to a psychiatrist?
No.
No, but I definitely should.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't want to keep going back at you, but yeah, you definitely
I definitely should. I
think
definitely
everyone
gotta
should.
go.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
everybody should be able to get a scan of their brain.
I
Yes.
would love that.
Don't you think
I
so?
want a full body scan. I want to know
Yes.
Everything.
wanna
Oh,
know
I
what's
think about
going
that
on
all
in
the time.
there.
I want to show up to a doctor and just say, "Just scan me,
Yeah.
scope me
I want
out,
to see my
Yeah.
liver,
and tell
my
me
lungs,
everything
my
that's wrong with
intestines.
me."
I want to see what's going on.
Right, because I feel like there's a lot wrong with me, and a lot
100%.
that I don't know about, and one day I'm just
Yeah.
going to be dead. We've
Yeah.
talked about this before.
Drop
I
dead.
asked my mom about that. I said, "How much would it be if I like walked into the hospital and was like, hey, scan my body?" And I think she called it a. I forget what it's there. That does exist.
It is a
But
thing.
it's
Yeah.
like,
I said
it's-
the same thing to my parents.
It's like for like absolute emergencies. Like people can't just do it. You can't like pay to do it, which I think is
Right.
bullshit.
I
Why
think it's
not?
like if you get into a horrible car crash and you show up to the
Something like
hospital,
that,
they're going
yeah.
to scan your whole body. I think we all definitely need a scan of our brains.
Yeah, we do.
I think it would be so interesting to
Yes.
find out how different all of our brains are and what is alike. You know, what's similar about
Yeah,
it.
why do we get along with each other? Why do we get along with certain people and not with others? What is it in
We
our
need
brains?
a brain scan,
We
You
certainly
should
do.
donate your brain, like after you die, have them freeze it.
but then I won't
For
know the
sure.
answers. I'll be dead.
But
Well,
other
no,
people will.
they'll rejuvenate you back up like Austin Powers if you freeze your brain. They'll
Freeze
put you
your-
in a new body.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Freeze your
That would be
head,
pretty cool.
and then they'll put
I'd
your
like
head
to
on
stay
another
in
body.
my
Walt Disney.
body though. Like I want this body
So then freeze your body. Go right
and
now.
my brain.
I don't think you can do that.
Austin
I think it's
Powers
just your
did it.
head. I
Like,
think it's just your
If
head.
it's just my brain in another person's body, that's basically just how we live anyway, right? Like if we believe in people believe in afterlife, then this brain that I have right now was somebody else's prior. It was an old man, you know?
So
Wait,
true.
is that the afterlife?
No, not afterlife.
Reincarnation.
Reincarnation.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, yeah.
sorry. Reincarnation.
Yeah.
It's like my brain right now was actually, you know, a baseball player
42-year-old
back in the
Russian man.
the
And does it
20s.
just keep like improving? Because like obviously you know more stuff than they did.
The theory is, I was reading this the other day. I thought it was so interesting. The theory is that you go on Earth and you live this life and you don't really remember anything in your previous lives, but sometimes you remember things. And sometimes you like think you're having deja vu, but really it's like a memory from a past life
Have
and
you
stuff
seen
like that.
the videos of the children who?
Yes.
Like there's like a little boy who would grow up in New York,
yeah.
has a regular family, and then all of a sudden he's speaking in fluent Russian and like
Yes.
talking about a war.
Literally,
they're
yes.
like, "What the fuck? Where did you come from?" And that's like, "Oh,
I feel
maybe
like
he was
that could
someone
be,
in
like,
another
a
life."
Ghost, like, or
Yeah,
he's possessed.
Possessed
For sure.
Yeah, or he was a Russian warrior.
Yeah. But then also apparently like when
a
you
lot to take
die,
in.
Yeah.
you go to this like plane and you meet up with, I don't know where I read this. I forget. You meet up with like the other your forever family. Like you have one family or one group of people that you're with
One-
forever all the time.
one
So
love.
you interact with them. Yeah, one love. You interact with them on Earth, and then when you go like beam me back up, then you're up there and you're like, all that stuff down on Earth. Like, oh, time for another life, and then you like jump into a new life. And you don't remember anything,
Kind of
but
like Soul
you always
Vibes,
end up there.
The movie Soul. Like
Yeah.
just jump in or
Maybe
jump
I'm just
out.
explaining the plot of the movie Soul.
Yeah, maybe.
That pisses me off though, thinking
Write
that
this down somewhere.
myself could have been somebody else, and I may be somebody else in the future, but I will never know.
Yeah.
Right? What is that?
It's my fucking phone. Who's calling me? Who's calling
my
me?
fucking phone.
Shut the fuck up.
Literally, fuck off.
I'm in fucking New
Leave me
York. Who the fuck is calling me?
It's my fucking phone, dude.
I feel like I'm having
Sorry.
a heart attack right now.
It's because I took all that nicotine. You're high off
holding
that
it in
juice.
your- holding your
I
breath.
don't even.
This is what I
the
wrote down the
tool that
other
I
day.
wanted right now.
Rip the nick, dude.
Whenever I was this actually applies. I don't know when I did this. Let's see, 6:10 p.m. on May 16th. Not sure. I might have been high on a train. I wrote this down. You wake up in a field and it's almost like you're experiencing life.
You wrote this yourself?
Yes.
Take it back 1 second. Take it back from the
She
beginning.
wrote this in her
Okay.
notes when she was high
I
on
wrote
a
this in
train.
She
my
wrote
notes.
this in Nick Trainey's journal on his desk.
I'm gonna go write it in his journal after this. You wake up in a field and it's almost like you're experiencing life as a crash course, like it was a test for a greater job and you get graded, or it's for super psychiatrists as a simulation to feel how other people feel who are mentally ill. It puts you in their shoes.
Kelly, you absolutely need to see somebody. The shit.
But that kind of makes sense,
No,
right? Like
I
it's
get
not
what you're
as
saying.
if like Earth is not real, but like I'm a psychiatrist in this body and I'm trying to like deal with this.
You're
you know?
not a psychiatrist.
And I'm gonna get
There's
an F
no
when I get
way
up
that
there.
you're a psychiatrist.
I'm failing this course.
You are failing.
Yeah.
And you come up with some crazy shit in your head that you write
Yeah.
down. Somebody needs to get inside that brain.
Somebody does.
We need a
Me.
scan.
I wish
We
it could
need
be
a
me.
scan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we need a
we need a
scan.
scan.
Forget our scans.
Yeah,
we're
we need a
kind of
Kelly
okay
scan.
right now.
Yeah.
We
Cool.
need a Kelly scan.
I'm willing to
ASAP.
donate my
We
body
could
and my
all
life.
pitch in for a Kelly scan.
You think we could afford it?
Yeah, if
I
we
think
get
you
the whole
guys could.
office.
I
to
definitely can, but you guys
chip
definitely
in.
can.
We'll bring around a jar and just say
And-
for Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And,
Yes.
and we'll like treat
And
it
I
like,
won't come to work for a few days, and people will be like, "What's wrong with her?"
Yeah,
and
we'll be like, we can't
"This is
talk
for
about
Kelly."
it now, but we will.
Brie, let's do that. Let's get a jar and write for Kelly on it and go up to everyone and say, guys,
Please.
donations for Kelly.
Yeah, and then they ask why.
Perfect.
Yeah,
And,
And
it's
we
for
won't
my
say,
brain
we'll just
scan.
say, she needs a brain scan. And we won't tell them
say,
why.
People are gonna think that
And then we'll
she
go out.
like has a tumor or like
Well,
brain
that's-
cancer.
Well,
That's
maybe
like,
I
well,
do.
yeah,
Who knows?
maybe-
I need
yeah.
a
We don't
brain
know
scan.
what's
But that's
going
the
on in
goal.
there.
We need
Something's
pity
up.
money, so maybe they'll feel
We
bad.
need pity money
They'll
for
be like,
sure.
oh, tumor.
sure.
Let's get that
sure,
working. Let's get a
$5.
jar.
Yeah,
write it
get a
down.
jar, send it around.
And see,
Yeah,
let's
and
do
we'll
that
put a
later.
And then
Venmo
at the
thing
end.
on it too.
Yeah,
so-
oh, they
Yeah,
can
get
scan.
the
We'll put our
scanners.
barcode.
I don't have cash.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the Venmo.
Fucking liar. Say
Yeah.
fucking liar.
Yeah.
We gotta print out our barcode.
Yeah.
And Cash App as well.
Yeah, all of it. And
We'll
yeah.
put it. We got to
Sit
put some
on the
cash
street.
in there to
Yeah.
make
Yeah,
it look
yeah.
like people have already put cash
Yeah.
in there,
Yes,
like
yes.
like the tip guys do at the subway.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. We got you.
No, I'm excited.
We're on
What are we gonna
something
do with all
here.
the money? Are we really
Get
gonna
you a brain scan.
Yeah.
Fuck
I was gonna
off.
say we should go to brunch or something. Damn.
This is the exact problem that you have, Kelly
I just
Ann
want to rip off
Keegan,
our coworkers.
Kellyanne Conway.
Don't you
Kellyanne
dare!
Conway.
Don't you dare associate me.
You should have never
with
told
that
us.
scarecrow.
The
You
names
should
are
have
so
never told
similar.
us your middle name was
Kellyanne
Ann.
know.
Keegan, Kellyanne Conway, same.
It's really tough. Yeah.
You
When
should have never
when she
told
was
us that.
hot in the streets for a minute, I was like, this is a bad look for me. I gotta go into hiding for a little while.
You should have never told us your middle name was
I
Ann.
know.
Yeah.
I figured you guys probably would have figured it
How's
out.
your daughter, Claudia? Okay, enough with
She's
the
a pain
bad
in my
jokes.
ass. That's what she is.
Fucking New
Christ's
York.
I'm from New York.
New York.
Not even from New York.
Concrete jungle
Dun, dun,
where
dun,
dreams
dun,
are
dun.
made of. There's nothing you can't do.
Okay.
Moving on.
Anyway, so looking forward to my brain scan. Thank you guys for being on the same team as me to help me get that done.
Of course.
I do
Always here
think
for you.
that
You're welcome.
I feel like we're kind of shitting on therapy. Oh,
Bless you.
oh, God bless you, Noah.
No, I'm not shitting on therapy.
I feel like I was a little.
Oh,
Did you
I
feel
think
like
I think I said that it personally wasn't like this big revelation that I had in therapy, but I think it was a good thing that I went.
Yeah.
And I tried it out, and I think everybody should try it out, and I
Agreed.
think you should do more than what I did than just see one person and say, "Oh, that's it." You should probably feel out who's right for you.
Absolutely.
And while we're on the topic, let's just talk about BetterHelp, everybody. Let's get on the therapy page. Let's all get to therapy. Kelly.
All right, guys, we're talking about therapy. We all know that we all need to be in therapy. I know that I need to be in therapy. I know that I should probably absolutely sign up for betterhelp.com/hi so I can get 10% off of my first month on betterhelp.com/hi. I need help. That's
You need
that's
it.
a serious fact. I
This
certainly
is
do.
Perfect for you.
This is perfect for me. I can do therapy at home. I can do it virtually. I don't have to go anywhere. I can do it. I can pick a room in this office and I can go do my BetterHelp therapy if I want to because it's customized online therapy for me.
Cheaper.
I can do it however I want to. And it's cheaper, super affordable, fantastic. That's always my number one thing is therapy is really fucking expensive. So yes, I need to get help. We all need to get help. Let's all get ourselves right before the summertime. Come on, it's going to be a great summer. We need to feel good about ourselves. Our brains need to feel as good as our bodies. So we need to go to betterhelp.com/hi. You can get 10% off your first month, betterhelp.com/hi.
Okay, it's time for Truth or Dare.
Truth or dare, truth or dare.
Truth or Dare, but we're just going to play a game of truth right now.
Oh.
Bree's got the questions
I
on
actually
there.
have a question I just came up with that I think is very
Ooh.
hard, and you have to tell the truth.
Here we go. What is it?
It's dark, and maybe I'm regretting.
No,
No,
go
say
for
it,
it.
say it. I
Okay.
love
I'd
it.
rather be dark.
Me too.
Okay, you're on a cliff. You're not falling off the cliff, but both of your parents are. You can
shit.
save one. Who are you picking?
Oh, fuck. I don't know if I can answer this because I'm worried my mom will listen
That's what I'm
and she'll
saying.
get mad
It's
either
kinda
way.
fucked up.
Damn.
You
That's
don't-
really
You don't
hard.
have the option to jump and save both.
I'm going to pick my mom because I think that my dad would want me to pick my mom.
Okay.
That's a good
That's
answer.
fair.
And I'm going to steal it.
Okay.
You would rather pick your dad, wouldn't you?
No. if I really think about it, because honestly, for the same reason, my dad would be pissed if I let my mom fall. He'd be like, what the fuck? And I'd be like, well,
Here's the thing. My dad needs my mom to survive. Like,
Yeah.
my dad cannot live without my mom.
True.
So I think that he would be miserable if my mom fell off the cliff. Of course,
He'd be mad at you.
of course, my mom would be miserable if my dad fell off the cliff, but my mom could live on her own.
Yeah. Dad
I
needs
feel
mom.
that way.
Dad needs mom.
I feel that way about my dad. I feel like my mom though could live on her own. Also, she has like a whole another life. I feel like she's like this.
Do you have another family?
No,
that
she
you don't know
like
about?
maybe. No, we were I was home this weekend and we went to Ulta, and my mom is a professor, I keep forgetting. And one of her students like came up to her and was just going on and on about how like I changed my whole thing so I could be in your class and on your rotation and this and that, whatever, just like literally kissing her feet. I was like, what the fuck is this? So me and my brother were like, okay, I'm gonna go like buy my mascara. Like, what is this bitch like kissing your ass for? And yeah, she just like has this whole other life where she's just like a respected professor and like smart as fuck.
Isn't it weird when you see your parents in that light?
Yeah.
Like my mom used to be an ortho tech, so she did a lot of people's braces.
Yeah.
And I'd meet people and they'd be like, "Oh, your mom did my braces. I love her." I'd be like, "What? What are you talking about?
So
my
weird.
mom's
It's
mouth.
so
My mom's
weird,
hands
yeah.
were in your mouth."
I feel like nobody
so
really
weird.
knows their parents as much as they think they do. Like
Definitely
they have
not.
like separate
They have
real
secrets.
lives. Yeah, they lived a whole life before we were born.
What's your
For
answer,
real.
by the way? We both answered. You're
yeah.
on the hot
What's your
seat.
answer?
What's your truth?
Kicking them both off and gonna live a nice sob story and just have people feel bad for me.
Oh, that's nice. I would like that option more. I'll
Yeah.
kick them both off.
Yeah,
You're not even kicking them off. They're falling off. So you're not even doing.
Yeah,
You're
yeah, they're
helping it.
falling.
Oh, she goes. No, I'm pushing.
I'm
them
pushing
off.
them up. I'm
Gonna
helping.
push their hands.
You got a
off.
little dark with that
A
one.
sob story
Yeah,
would be
because
I
I
like
can't
it
pick
though.
one. So
Do we got truths on there?
yeah. Here,
Was
we
throwing
can-
myself off an option? That is actually
No,
the
that
option I
one's
want.
not an option. Because
No,
everyone would take
you
that.
don't want to throw yourself off.
Nah.
Okay. What is a secret you kept from your parents? Truth time.
Ooh, a secret I kept from my parent. Oh my god, so
Like
many, so
still
many
keeping
things.
or kept? Because I don't know if I'm still keeping it.
I don't think there's anything I'm still keeping from them, but I think that there was a secret that I kept from them when I was a senior in high school and I started hooking up with my ex-boyfriend again, and my parents really didn't want me to see him, so I would tell them that my friend was picking me up every time he picked me up, and then I got caught because then my dad realized that it was him picking me up, and I got in a lot of trouble.
Damn.
So that was
crazy.
I didn't keep many secrets from my parents because they really are not strict at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
really
I-
don't give a fuck
Yeah.
what I do. So there wasn't many secrets I had to keep.
I had a big secret lie thing going on. It was junior year summer. I met this boy on a cruise, and I told my parents, so I live in Massachusetts, I told my parents, hey, my friend invited me up to Maine for the weekend to like go swimming at the beach house, whatever. Can I take the car and go up to Maine, which is like a 3-hour drive? And my mom was like, yeah. I was like, can I have like money for the weekend? Like we're going camping. So she gave me like $400 in the car, and I drove the car from Massachusetts to Ohio, stayed with that boy for the week. They thought I was in Maine the whole time, and then I just drove back, and I let
You know
that,
what?
I let that go.
Grace told me that story in Aruba.
Really?
Yes. Oh
wow. Funny.
Yeah, Grace
weird.
told
I
me
never
that
heard it.
story in Aruba.
Yeah, that
You
was
guys-
my-
this
that
is
was
when
my
you
big
guys were
secret.
locked in the room.
When we were dead. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
When you guys weren't allowed out.
Yeah.
But that's crazy that you did
It was.
that.
I was so scared the whole time, and I've like never been anywhere alone like that. And I was like on the highway with all trucks. Like someone almost ran me off the
What if something
road.
were to happen to you?
Yeah, it would have been bad.
Dangerous to
Would've
keep a
been-
secret like
Would've been
that.
very
Would have been bad.
That would have been really bad.
When was the last time you guys wet the bed?
Oh, probably more recent than I'd like to admit.
I've wet it once, and it was like a year and a half ago.
Wow.
Woke up, said, "Damn, I'm sweating," and
You're
I
like,
was
nah,
like,
peed myself.
"No, that's piss." And it's 3 a.m. I'm blacked out. What the fuck happened? I got kicked out of a bar because I fell asleep. Then I left the bar, and then I crawled back in, fell asleep again, and they called me an Uber.
Everybody
That's
needs
nice.
to pee their bed at least one time when they're drunk. Mine was my 21st birthday. I peed my
Oh, that's
bed.
perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, it was so good.
feel like
and
I
a
remember
week,
that story.
So good.
week before that, Hank peed the bed because it was the night of Pop Punk, and so he peed in my bed, and I was like, "Oh, come on, what the fuck?" And I blew up his spot and said that Hank peed my bed, and then a week later was my 21st birthday, and then I peed the bed. So it was kind of like a back-to-back.
A little bit
That's
of
good.
Yeah.
retaliation.
pee revenge.
I peed. I'm trying to think. Definitely drunk. It might have been though in like 9th or 10th grade, and I was like blackout drunk. It was one of those times where one of the first times you drank
Yeah.
and you don't really know, and I like peed my friend's bed, not even my own. It was pretty embarrassing.
My guy friends
time.
pee the bed like a lot
all the
drinking.
time.
Why is it so
in college
like,
that
normal?
a lot of guys always peed the fucking bed, and I always thought that
Yeah.
was kind of gross.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's so
I mean,
disgusting.
every once in a while.
When was the last time you cried?
Last
morning.
night.
This morning when I woke up and didn't want to get out of bed, I was literally crying, and I sent
Yeah.
a voice memo out to the group chat crying, saying,
You
I
bitches are
feel like
wild.
You
constipated.
did sound like you were crying.
If you had sent that to my group or the group that I'm in, I might have gotten up. And come in.
No, she sent crying saying she didn't want to get up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was
I really
before
don't
we
wanna
got
do
the text
this.
from you. We're not
So if
going
you
through
had
this
said that,
again.
then I would have responded immediately and been like, "Oh,
Yeah.
shame. Let's not go in."
We're
No,
not. We're not.
the blame
going
is
through
still
this
on you
again.
a little bit,
Yeah,
Noah.
we're not going
Anyway,
through this again.
stop.
I cried on Monday. I beat you guys. Mine's the furthest back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank
holding it in.
you. Thanks.
That's nice.
What is your biggest fear?
Ooh, one of my little facts I have
a
here
lot.
about the truth is that lying comes from fear. Interesting.
Ooh, yeah.
Like people are
That
afraid.
makes sense.
People are afraid. Wait, I have a
I
little
lie
thing.
when I'm
A little
scared.
thing about it too.
Doesn't everybody?
I guess so.
That's how people get in trouble with like cheating and shit because they're
Yeah.
afraid, so they lie.
It says, here's the thing. We do it because we'd rather live with the long-term consequences of lying to ourselves and others than face the temporary pain of truth.
I would not. I am quite the opposite of that.
I
I
kinda feel
can't
you
live
on that.
with any sort of on my brain thinking about anything. Like I have to just be truthful at all times.
Yeah.
It almost hurts me. I wish I could be a good liar.
I only lie about certain things. Like I will always tell the truth about like behaviors, or if I need to tell somebody something, or if I feel like somebody is making themselves look stupid, I'll always say something because I feel that way because I want to be told. I want to be told and I feel like people don't tell me though. Like I always am wanting people to tell me when I'm like fucking around, or if I like look stupid, or if I'm saying something stupid. I feel like a lot of the time they don't, but I always say it to people. Do you think that that's mean? People think it's rude.
No, I think it's honest. I think honesty is a good thing.
I
I
agree.
think that there are times that sometimes you can say something to somebody and of course they're going to be taken aback and they're going to think it's rude, but at the end of the day they're going to go home and they're going to think about what was said and they're going to say, "You know what? That person was right."
Yeah. As long as it's not in front of people in like a humiliating
Right, you don't want to
way.
Yes,
embarrass
never,
somebody
never,
and you
never,
don't want
never.
it to come from a place that's evil. You want to come from a place of helping somebody out.
Yes.
Yeah. That's not mean.
My biggest fear is getting a champagne cork to my eye and losing my eye.
Wow. Honestly, that's a really valid fear. That can
is a
totally
good
happen.
fear.
It freaks me out. Anytime somebody
fears.
pops a champagne, I have to clear the way.
Yeah. I obviously being framed for murder, my biggest fear, but also getting drunk and like chipping my front teeth or like
Don't
Oh,
get me
because that
started.
happens to people.
It happens literally to me. That's my life. You know this about my tooth, but we're not going to
Oh
talk
yeah,
about
we
it.
can't talk
I
about
said
it.
we're not going to talk about it though because
We can't talk about
It's
it.
not fixed yet, so I can't talk about it. I don't know what my biggest fear is. Just I don't know. They change all the time. I think.
sharks.
What is the strangest dream you've ever had? This isn't really a truth thing, but it's more just a fun question.
Strangest
I
dream.
remember mine right off the top of my head.
What is it?
It was something that I had. It's a dream that I had when I was a little kid, and to this day, I think about it often. There was puppets in my home, and this was even before I had I had a fire in my house when I was younger.
A real fire?
I had a real fire. Now I go to two stories in one. So
Okay.
long story short, I had a fire in my house when I was younger. I had a computer room / office and the bathroom right next to each other on the upper level of my home. My mom was in Florida with my brother because my grandma broke her back. And so my mom went to go deal with that. My dad was taking care of my sister and I. And he said, "Oh, ladies, children, let's go to IHOP and go to the movies in the morning. I'll
Love.
take you guys out." The pipe was frozen in my bathroom, so the shower was cold. So my dad took a heating torch or whatever to try to heat up the pipe,
no.
and fucking flames, like the whole bathroom went on fire, and the bathroom and the office, whatever, just like my house was on fire. And we ran to my neighbor's house, and we had to keep this all from my mom because she was in Florida dealing with my grandma's broken back.
Oh my God.
And my dad obviously couldn't answer the phone or anything. This was the time where like cell phones, they existed, but not to the extent that it does now. Like I don't even remember what grade I was in. I was so young. And we went to my neighbor's house. My mom was calling the house like, "Where's Mike? Where's the kids?" And my neighbor was like, "Oh, they're here having a great time." Meanwhile, there's firefighters like fucking all going through my home. So that's why you've seen my bathroom at my house. That's why my bathroom is so big at my house.
Oh,
because they just
true.
made the two rooms into one huge bathroom instead
That is
of
a huge bathroom.
yeah, that's why, because of the fire. Anyways,
Wow.
I had this dream about my computer room growing up and these puppets that lived in my computer room with like a well / jacuzzi that they would all lay on and I can't describe it, like laying flat on their backs and all their heads are in a circle, like touching. And then we fell down the well with them and ended up at my middle school auditorium where the Wiggles were performing. And we had like a buffet breakfast. And the puppets, they were served on the buffet platter. So like their heads, isn't that fucked up?
That is fucked
Their
up.
heads were just displayed on the buffet platter and they were like, Maria. And it was like, and I just woke up.
That's crazy.
That's
Isn't that
nuts
weird?
dream.
And I think about it all the time still. It was the one dream I remember from when I was a kid that was just really strange.
Yeah, that's really weird.
That is weird. I have a dream I remember when I was a kid, but I've never tried to explain it out loud. I think I'm going to try right now.
It's very hard to explain.
Yeah.
You see, I struggled with that. I was like, I can't even.
You did a fantastic job. It
Thank
gave me
you,
the
but it
confidence
was
to say it
very
myself.
hard to get out.
Okay. So my dream was also when I was a child, it was a recurring dream. I had it a lot. And I was maybe like 6 or 7, like so young. And in my house, I used to live in North Plainfield, New Jersey. And our house was kind of small, but we had like a sliding door to go out into the backyard. And in my dream, I was sleeping in the living room where the door was. And I like woke up a little bit in my dream and looked over at the door. And outside the door in my backyard, there were like flowers everywhere. And there was also like a swing set, like stuff like that. As I looked outside, the stuff started like pop, 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 and it would disappear. Like a flower, it was there and it would pop and disappear. And I was like, what's going on out there? And so I went out there. And then as soon as I opened the door, everything turned gray, like gloomy gray day. And I went out into the middle of my yard and I looked over to my next door neighbors who I knew the neighbor girl. She was like a couple years older than me, maybe like 12. She and her parents were standing on top of the fence, all 3 lined up. Balanced. Well, more like floating, but they were there and they all had black cloaks on and they were staring straight ahead like, I don't even know. They were staring not at me, but they were staring like straight ahead a different way. And then when they noticed me, all 3 at the same time pointed at me. And then all of a sudden they like were next to me. And then they were all standing next to me, all surrounding me, and they were talking to me and I didn't know what they were saying. And I was afraid. So I started running. And then, by the way, my backyard was like not big. It was like the size of this room basically. And then I saw bats and that's all I really remember. But it made me think my neighbors were vampires for a long time.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like the Volturi,
Yeah.
whatever it's pronounced.
Volturi, yeah. Yeah, it was really from Twilight. Yeah, it was a really strange dream. But I had it a lot, and it was always just like me going out there, seeing my neighbors, them seeing me, and it was like
That being a recurring dream is what creeps me out. If that was a one-time thing,
Yeah,
that
that's
happening
creepy.
often is
was
like
a
your
lot.
neighbor was up to some shit.
I felt
Black
that way.
magic.
I think maybe it came from not the black magic. That is probably also true, but my parents told me that they used to grow marijuana in their backyard. And that I would like play along the fence with the neighbor girl and we would play with like the ferns. You know how ferns grow?
Yeah.
We were playing around with them. There were no cell phones at this time. And apparently there was weed there also. But my parents didn't like when I played over there in case I was to run into the weed.
Did you ever eat random plants as a kid?
Yeah.
All the time. Oh, want to know something
Certainly.
crazy? That
Ferns
all the
taste
time.
weird as fuck.
This fucking girl that I lived, she lived like, this is when I still lived in the city. We were city rats. We would take our scooters. She was like 2 years older than me. I think I was pushing like 7 or 8. Like I was very young. So we'd take our scooters and she would take me up the road and she would be picking up things off the street. And I'm like, what are you picking up? And then we'd get to the end of the road. She'd have a bunch of cigarette butts, used cigarette butts in her hand. And then she's like, here, have one. And we would just pretend to be smoking, but they were used cigarette butts. And
Sick.
we'd be on our scooters with cigarette butts this big
That
in
might
our
be the
mouths.
most Boston thing I've ever heard.
It
you
was
say.
like
That's
crazy.
hysterical.
Can we also unpack your TikTok the other day that you
one?
posted about somebody making you kiss them all the time?
Oh, yeah. That's
What
traumatic.
is that about?
I think I was sexually assaulted.
I
as a
didn't see
child.
I
Yes.
commented. I said, let's talk about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's talk about it. So let's tell the truth.
I
Let's
wanted
tell
to
the
talk
truth.
to you privately about it, but we could talk about it openly
Okay,
as well.
so-
I didn't even see this talk.
Yeah. So, you know the trend where it's like, what is it? How does it go? I'll never forget you. I don't know. You talk about someone that like you met when you were younger and like
I
you'll
see.
never forget them. But I did it in like a bad way. Like I'll never forget you.
Mm-hmm.
So in my campground when I was younger, once again, very young, like I was like 7 or 8, there was this older girl.
A lot of stuff happened when you were 7 or 8.
Yeah.
This is
Pivotal time.
This is the time I'm shaped as a child. This
Yeah.
is who I am now.
tough.
So there was this girl who was like 5 or 6 years older than me. Like she was a lot older than me, and she had a younger sister that I was really close with, and we would play all the time. So my parents would let me go out and play in the campground with the little sister, but the older sister would always show up and like want to play with us and be like super creepy, and she would always demand that we play house. And every time we played house, like I would be her like girlfriend or like her husband or something, and she would force me to kiss her on the lips every time we played.
Is she a lesbian now?
And I was 7. Like full on lips kissing, and she probably slipped a tongue in there. I try to forget about it.
Oh my God.
Is she a
Brie.
lesbian now?
I don't know what she's up to now.
No, I was
bet
just
that she
curious,
is,
just
I'm
because
sure. But
maybe
that's
she-
still
it's
regardless,
terrible.
yeah.
Regardless, I was just wondering what
see if I
her
can
motive
find it.
was behind that.
It was
Brie,
a
I'm so
very
sorry.
It was a very
Regardless.
That's
creepy
horrible.
motive.
Yeah, no matter what, it's pervy.
Yeah, like
Super
maybe
pervy.
once, like because you're like a curious little kid.
No,
let's kiss.
but how old was she?
I was. Let me try to think what year it was. I
bet
was
she-
either
this-
8 or 9. Maybe I was 8, and she was like 5 or 6 years older than me.
Oh
Oh my God.
Yeah, and she wanted to play house all the time
Okay,
no,
that's
no.
fucked
with me
up.
and the little sister.
That's
and
not
she would
right.
like tell
Fucked
the
up.
little sister like, "Oh, me and mommy and daddy need time, go to bed." And like, but we'd be outside in like the woods and in the campground.
And then you would have to kiss her.
and she'd say, "Kiss me, husband or wife." I don't know which one it
That's
was.
so fucked up.
That's
I
really
would say,
fucked up.
Sometimes I'd be like, "No, I don't want to," and she would just kiss me on the
Brie.
cheek. Yeah,
Brie, this is
Guys,
fucking
I'm really
I know.
nuts.
sorry to hear that.
it's okay. It's funny now.
Also-
we have to laugh about it or we cry
Yeah,
about it.
that's really fucked
It
up.
makes me think
It's
about
a lot to
her
unpack.
life.
It's a lot to unpack.
It makes me think about her life too. Like that must have been her parents. Like she
Yeah,
must be
maybe
like
that happened to her.
impersonating.
Maybe
her
something was
parents?
happening to her, and
Maybe.
you know,
Maybe
we
that
don't know
And then
happened
she
to her
about
when
it.
pushed
she
it
was
on you.
younger.
That sounds like a Law and Order
Yeah.
SVU episode. Brie,
Yeah,
I
it
am so
does.
sorry.
Yeah,
what
I'm
a
sorry
weird
about
thing.
that.
Thank you for
It's
telling
alright,
the truth
guys.
about that.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
tell you the
thank
truth.
you for opening
No
up.
problem.
You know
about
what you can
that.
do about that? I looked something else up. It's called PEW, Purge Emotional Writing, where you write down all of the things that you're feeling, or a bad story, or something that's making you feel like shit, like you angry, write it out, and then you throw it away. You never read it again. You just throw it away.
That's kind of cool.
I thought that was interesting. It says
Gotta
you don't
burn
read it
those
again.
stories, so.
You don't read it
No one
again
can
because
find
you
those.
don't want to. Don't read what you've written. You've purged this negative energy and don't want to take it back into your
So
consciousness.
you just completely get rid of it and throw it away.
So maybe now that we've said it on the podcast, that's like kind of like our,
Yeah,
our
purged
purge
it.
emotional
Get it away.
podcasting.
I like that idea.
As do I.
It's fun.
I learned about it yesterday in this fantastic article I've been looking at. It's called The Truth and Why It's So Difficult to Tell It. It is a Goop article. Shout out Gwyneth Paltrow.
The truth. It
The
is hard
truth.
to tell, but the truth will set you free.
The truth will always set you
That's a
free.
nice way to end it. The truth will set you free.
Yeah.
Twitter, do we love it or do we hate it?
I love it.
You know what's
used to love
crazy?
it.
I feel like I'm sitting in between two people who are on so opposite sides of Twitter. Kelly is obsessed with Twitter, and Brie, I barely see you on Twitter. I'm kind of in the middle about it.
I used to
Yeah.
be huge on Twitter, and then I was banned for 2 years, and I had to like force myself, because I would always open my phone, open Twitter, like check it, and I couldn't make a new one because it like was so many, my phone number was banned, whatever, and I had to like force myself to not want it, and then I like don't need it anymore.
How'd you get banned on Twitter?
Well,
Tell the truth.
we were hanging out. This was like 2.5 years ago. I was with Grace, and we were just like, let's start like random beef with like celebrities that we hate on Twitter. And Grace was like, you hate Toby Keith. And I was like, yeah, I fucking hate Toby Keith. So she was like, start beef with him. You won't. And I tweeted him. I just added him and said, Toby Keith, like, I will fucking kill you. And they took that as I'm going to have a mass shooting at the concert.
Okay.
And I think I'm on a bad list now.
That's fair.
That'll
Yeah.
get you banned.
Yeah, that's
You
fair.
can't write
Yeah.
people. You can't say I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah, no,
Like I was a
bad.
Kris Jenner troll and blocked by Kris Jenner, but
Yeah.
I wasn't like I'm gonna fucking kill you,
Yeah.
like terrible stuff. I
Yeah.
was just like, oh, Kris Jenner,
Yeah.
I hate
I think
you.
it was like
But
I
I
will like
love
take
Kris
you
Jenner
to
now, which
I will
fucks
like
up.
take you in the ring and fucking kill you, like something like I wanted to fight him.
super aggressive.
Yeah.
How
yeah,
old?
but super aggressive.
Just, like, a little
like 2.5
much.
years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So like not
So it
that,
was, like-
not that
like-
long ago.
like yesterday. Yeah.
Fairly recent.
Yeah, fairly recent.
Pretty recent.
So I
Yeah.
got banned now. I don't really love Twitter, but I used to.
I was never a Twitter troll. I don't like the trolling, and I don't know if that maybe is me being so full of myself that I assume everyone sees my tweets. Like I assumed, like I would never tweet at Toby Keith with the assumption of like, oh no, he won't see this. Like he gets so many tweets. I think I'm tweeting at the celebrity and they're 100% going to see what I say.
Oh no, I've always lived under the. Now I think they're gonna see what I say. of course, but I've always lived under the impression that nobody was ever seeing my Twitter or tweets
yeah.
growing
You're
up.
all verified
still live
now,
like
so it's
that.
like,
Now
Yeah,
it's different.
now it's
but
way
even when I
different,
wasn't,
but-
I always was like, people will see this. Like, I don't know why I thought that, but I always thought it. So I never was.
Well,
like,
I started Twitter at a very young age. I was in 8th grade when I got my Twitter. So
really-
think about that. That's
so
like
young.
love
Yeah.
that's
Twitter.
so reckless.
I was 18.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big difference
I
there.
wish I could see
Definitely.
my old tweets from when I was like that young. But that account that got banned was my Twitter from like 8th grade. Imagine those tweets. That'd be so funny.
I bet they are so problematic too.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like mine would be. My like early Facebook days for me are bad. Facebook came out when I was in 9th grade, and you could like write on each other's walls. There was no like private messaging or anything, but we would write on each other's walls as if nobody could see it.
And
it was-
everybody could see it.
Everybody could see it.
Yeah.
And it was really rude, like
Yeah.
just beyond rude.
That was like Twitter. You would tweet whatever you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
I used to subtweet like a motherfucker.
Same.
I would
was Twitter
subtweet
fingers, yeah.
like crazy when I would get into arguments in high school or just like to get boys' attention. The
Yes.
things I would subtweet, and then I would have my friends, I'd be like, can you retweet this so they see it like extra on their timeline?
Yes.
I was so involved in that nonsense. I deleted a bunch of shit that it was just like a bunch of crying faces or I'm so sad. All the time I would
Yeah,
tweet like,
yeah.
I'm sad. Like
was
what?
me on
Nobody wants to
Facebook.
hear that. I'm sad. Or I'm hungry. The amount of fucking I'm
Yeah.
hungry tweets
I'm hungry.
that I
Come on.
had. It's like nobody gives a fuck that you're hungry. Just eat something. I'm hungry. I'm sad. I'm happy today. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Twitter
Shut
used to
up.
be like
You're
that.
like literally describing my Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
No,
you're
actually,
still
no,
in
no,
that
mine's
wave.
not. Mine's not that bad. I did have a time where I was like that. Well, not even like that. It's more the trying to get attention. I was big on like trying to get attention on Twitter.
I feel
still
like
that.
everyone's been in that spot on Twitter.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Especially with a
hate
guy.
seeing it now, though, for sure. I hate seeing it now, though. When I see it, I'm like, ew, how embarrassing. And I'm like, oh, like again, throwing stones from my glass house.
Sometimes I think about going back to my subtweet days. Like sometimes I'll think about tweeting like, oh, I hate everyone.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish I could just throw that out there.
know.
But
Why
then
not?
everyone,
Why
but then because then
not?
everyone would be like, oh, who do you hate? And they just like name all the people in the office.
True,
you know what
true,
I'm saying?
true.
Like I can't
Yeah.
just throw out I hate everyone anymore.
Tag him,
because,
Adam, then. You
yeah,
won't,
but
pussy.
it's just like sometimes
That was me in high
You know
school.
when
I
you
thought I
get
had
moody,
balls.
you
Yeah.
just get moody and you're just like,
For
I
sure.
hate everyone. Oh, everyone's
hate
fake.
everyone.
I used to
Literally
tweet that
me.
like everyone's so fake. I remember when I
love
left
that.
high school, I tweeted, I can't wait to not be in high school with my fucking asshole friends anymore.
Oh my God.
And my friends were like, "What the fuck?" Like,
sorry, I was in a bad mood that
I
day.
know I was. I was just in a
Yeah.
bad mood. They probably went somewhere without me, and I was like, "My fucking asshole friends. I can't wait to
Fuck
be
these
without them."
chumps.
Always,
Yeah,
literally always.
regrets.
That's
I hate
crazy.
what bothers me about Twitter is I want it to be a void that I just say shit. Like I want to say that shit. I want to be like I fucking hate everybody or don't talk to me. I'm in a bad mood. Like I want to talk as if I'm like a plaque in a mom's house, you know?
Yeah.
That's like live, laugh, love, but whatever. I want to talk like that on Twitter. But I hate when people ask me about my tweets, specifically family.
Yeah.
Like if I and like my mom would be like, "Oh, I saw that you weren't feeling well because you tweeted it," and I was like, "Fuck." I don't want to have to think about how my mom is looking at my Twitter. Like I don't want to have to think about like anybody looking at my Twitter.
Okay,
like
well,
my
Kelly-
friends, nothing.
Sometimes you have very questionable tweets that you need to be asked about.
I know.
And you said that because I asked you the other week. When
Well,
I
I
texted
hesitated
you.
when I was saying because you did do that.
I did do that.
I would have been way meaner about it if you hadn't just done it, but because I hate it, I really hate it. But
I know
I get
you hate
it.
but you can't tweet out seeking for help, and then when somebody texts you trying to help you, you can't say I hate when you do that.
True.
Kelly
Yeah.
tweeted
I
out.
just want to
Yeah,
be
she did.
dramatic.
Let me tell you guys what Kelly tweeted out, so everyone could know why we were worried about
It
you.
got a lot of favorites.
First of all, she tweeted about wanting to die 2 hours before she tweeted this. She
People are being mean
tweeted,
to me.
"Oh, I can't wait to die," and then 2 hours later, she tweets a TikTok of somebody where the person says something like, "Oh, when you're crying for help." And
It was an audio. It was the audio that's like, "Let me out, let me out." This
yeah, and
is
it was
not
something
a
like
test.
when
I'm
you're
begging for help.
when
I'm
you're
screaming for help.
when you're crying for help, but everyone just thinks you're an annoying party girl. So I texted Kelly and I said, "Kelly, are you
okay?
Like, do you need
Yeah.
help? Like, you're
That was nice. Thank
you're
you for doing
basically saying you need help right now." And then I tell her, it looks like you need help right now." And then she says, "I hate when people ask me about my tweets." What?
Because here's my
Should
mindset.
have been like, gotcha.
I saw, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, haha. I just wanted a text. No, I see that and I laugh because I'm like, LOL, like that's relatable. Other people will find this relatable. Not in a, I'm treating, like if I am actually wanting help, I'm not asking for it. Like I think people should be more concerned if they don't hear from me. That's how I feel.
You thought that was concerning, right?
Yeah. We talked about it the next day because I don't check Twitter, and then you were like, "Kelly, are you okay?" The next day, and I was like, "What
Yeah.
the fuck
Sorry
happened?"
that I'm caring for you.
Thank you for caring. I appreciate it, but I do on record hate when people talk about my tweets. I don't know why. I just like to pretend like nobody is looking at my tweets. Like that's the thing that I like
I
to
can
pretend.
promise
how
you, I will never
feel
ask
about my
Kelly
TikToks.
about her tweets ever again.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
that's
you
tough.
never
It
can.
is tough. There's who does this all the time. You know who does it? Connor Crehan always texts me about my tweets, and I always am like, I wish you weren't fucking texting me about my tweets. It makes me
Yeah.
not want to tweet.
It's a diary. Don't talk about it.
Right. That's how I
Yeah.
feel. I'm like, it's a diary. Don't talk about it. Let me be weird here. But it's not really the place to be weird anymore. So that's why I'm weird on TikTok now. I just decided I'm going to be weird there.
Yeah, I feel like TikTok's more of the appropriate
Yeah.
place to be, like, kind of just saying whatever's on your mind.
That's how I feel.
I do think Twitter is fucking hilarious, though,
the
on like
funniest app.
great
Or it
nights.
was at one point.
At one point, like when something big happens, Twitter's the place to be.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of like the big moments, like big scandals, like when Jordan Woods hooked up with Tristan Thompson.
Amazing.
And you're looking at the thread of
Yep.
what all these jokes people are
awesome.
making. It's so funny, the shit that people come up with. And a lot of times on TikTok, it's just shit that people are stealing from Twitter. Like they just put a
100%.
tweet in a TikTok and it
that's
goes
all they
viral.
do, yeah.
It's just being recycled from Twitter. It's a shame that Twitter made Twitter free because now everyone just steals all the I mean, every
100%.
social media app is free, but Twitter is.
But Twitter barely even
elite.
has ads. Like, I mean, no, that's a lie. They have a lot of ads, but they
have
only
TikTok
kind of
now.
recently. Like,
Yeah.
only I feel like they didn't have that many ads. Now it's like every every other scroll. But also live tweeting shows and
Live tweeting.
like Game of Thrones live tweeting was always super fun. The Bachelor,
Bachelor,
obviously.
You, like
The
you
Bachelor.
couldn't check your Twitter if you didn't watch like the premiere of something because
Yeah.
they would spoil it for you.
You still can't
Like
do
American
Still can,
Horror
yeah.
Story, I remember you couldn't like check it.
Oh,
when-
never. Yeah. American Horror Story was a big one. Game of Thrones. What's another like huge one? Oh, like
Gossip
sporting
show?
events.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Like-
Yeah, Super Bowl is
Yeah,
always a big
yeah.
one. Like the Grammys, the Oscars.
Yeah, any award show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've kind of fallen off in the past like
Right.
year or
I
so,
don't think
though.
people are tweeting that much about award shows
No.
because, I mean, the
Well, they
past
sucked
year,
this
the
year,
award
yeah.
shows, they're not the same thing.
Wait,
I'd like
you
to
guys
get
ever
back to
used
that.
to watch Pretty Little
Liars.
Pretty Little Liars.
Liars?
Yes.
Wasn't
Yeah.
that big on Twitter? Because I
Yes,
remember my
it
friends were
was.
like, I can't check Twitter because of that.
Any show that
was.
was coming out weekly
Yeah,
is
people were
big.
freaking out.
Even like The Undoing most
Oh,
recently,
yeah,
yeah,
that
so good.
that started to pick up. Mayor of
Mayor of
Easttown now
Easttown,
is
yeah,
starting
right
to
now.
pick up. Twitter is a great place, but it can also be a terrible place. Bless you, Kelly. It
Thank
can
you,
also
sorry.
be
It's-
fucking vile. The people
It's
on
disgusting.
there are ruthless because they're
The most
they're
ruthless
eggs.
app.
They're just you can have no picture, you can have no followers, you could just say whatever you want, and you always see it. There's really no way avoiding
They're
people
not-
on
they-
Twitter and what people are saying on Twitter.
They're anonymous. They're just like you said. They're just eggs.
You know, John Mayer once said,
Oh, what'd he say?
John Mayer said that,
Is he dead?
What? Is John Mayer
do
dead?
you know who John Mayer is?
Is that the guy that got shot?
What?
John Lennon? Are you thinking of?
Are you kidding me?
Guys, I don't
Breathe.
listen to
No.
music.
John
How do
Mayer?
you not know
Noah's
who
gonna
that
kill
is?
you right now.
I mean, I'm like a huge fan.
Noah's gonna jump across that table.
The biggest John Mayer.
That's
fan.
What's
that's
a
a
John
fact.
Mayer song?
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god! Noah's
Well, I'll
Are
know
you
it. I'll
fucking
know it, but
joking?
I couldn't
no, but the
name
fact that
it.
you don't even know who John Mayer
He
is.
has too many to name.
couldn't
I'm
even
just
tell
trying
you
to.
what he
Your
looks
body's
like.
a wonderland.
Dated, like every hot girl in
Everybody.
Taylor
Hollywood.
Swift.
I couldn't even tell you what he looks like.
Are you?
You're
What?
crazy.
He has
right
brown
now.
hair.
Do you live
Yeah, he has
under
brown
a
hair.
rock?
This is. I don't even know what to say right
Yeah,
now.
I'm shocked. Like,
I don't
Tweeting
keep
this
up with
out.
this.
As we
I
talk
don't-
about Twitter,
yeah.
Bree
Tweet it out
doesn't
right
know
now.
who John Mayer is, and I'm about to fucking lose it.
Yeah.
how?
I know
Your
who
body's a
John,
wonderland,
Like
I
know
guess?
John Mayer is a. I know he's a famous
I'm trying to
person
think
singer.
the biggest song is like "Waiting on the World to Change."
We keep
Wait.
waiting
on
on
the
the
Body's a
world.
wonder-
I know
Your
all
body's
those
a wonder
on the
songs, but like I'm
world.
not
how do you
like
not know
thinking
who
about
he
John
is?
Mayer.
That's you're crazy.
But he's just like an A-list celebrity.
That's
like,
one of the
Yeah.
craziest. That's so
I don't
insane.
Fucking care. Let me see.
No,
I can't believe. I
it's
thought she was
almost-
joking for a while.
No,
I-
No,
dead
I-
ass.
Are,
She's
are you
serious.
still joking? I don't know.
John Mayer's one of those things where it's
I
kind of
know that's-
insulting that
that's
you don't know
Mayer.
John
If I saw,
I'm
if I saw that
speechless.
picture, like I would say, oh, but if you gave me multiple choice, I would get it right. But like I wouldn't be able to be
I
like.
can't believe she thought John Mayer was
John
the
John
Beatles.
Lennon
and the Beatles.
Yeah, it was in the. Noah is never
John
gonna forgive
Mayer
you,
was
Bree.
in the
Like,
Beatles.
forget it.
Noah is the
gonna-
biggest John Mayer fan. He's
Really?
about to fucking
Yes.
lose his shit.
He
He
can
has
like he's
bangers,
can
but
barely
I
sit
just, like,
still. Look at
don't
him.
know him. I know his music. You know.
Anyways, John Mayer once said that this many people were never supposed to have this much access to us.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
John
Oh,
Mayer.
yeah,
Such
he
facts.
quit Twitter. Yeah.
I think he's back on. No.
No, he's not. It's just like
Oh, I
somebody
see, I
else,
see.
like-
Just meaning like everybody is allowed to have an opinion about your life. and everyone has access to you and has access to everybody else. And it wasn't always like that. Like before social media, you couldn't just get in contact with somebody. You know, you had to be in person or pick up the phone. You weren't able to just send out your opinions at any time. With Twitter, it's like, it's so much at once.
Not everybody like needs to have an opinion. Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Like not everybody needs to be heard. You know, myself included. Like very much so. You know what I mean? Like you just people can just keep it to yourself. Yeah, just shut your fucking mouth sometimes. You know,
like, why did I even
again,
say that?
myself included.
No
like
one
just shut your fucking mouth. I also think that this John Mayer thing has me thrown.
I can't. I know. I almost wanted to just end the show because
I don't know if I can go
I'm
on.
pretty rattled about the John Mayer stuff.
Who else don't you know?
She doesn't trust me. We were talking. She doesn't know a lot of people.
I don't know a lot of. I don't
like-
keep up with pop culture at all.
So John Mayer quit Twitter. Chrissy Teigen attempted and came back. It's an addiction. Do you think that? I think I'm addicted to Twitter.
I think Twitter is 100% addiction.
Yeah.
Addiction. There's sometimes like on Sundays I would say Twitter is so boring. On the weekends Twitter is just
Twitter sucks.
blah.
On the weekends, yeah.
I'm checking that app every 30 minutes.
100 times a day.
100 times a day I'm checking. Nothing's new.
Nothing is new.
Just so you can hear that boop when you scroll down.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know who to follow on Twitter though. That's the thing because I
gotta
got a new
curate your
account, so I'm
followers.
like, I don't know who to follow.
I gotta be honest, my whole feed is just Barstool people.
Same.
Yeah.
That's
Mine
all I
is too,
follow
mine
right
is.
now. So it's like
I have
don't-
other shit, though,
So
actually.
it's not fun to look at.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, it's like all sports
shots
shit.
fired.
Yeah,
It's
damn.
all big cat.
No. I get
Honestly,
what
true.
You're saying.
No one.
I
I-
follow,
Like I
feel
don't even know what that stuff means. Like
Yeah.
so I'm like, why am I
Gambling,
looking
yeah.
at it?
I feel like a lot of stuff I follow, like there's some pop culture accounts I follow, so I'll see like celebrity news and funny shit that people put out. But yeah, sometimes you have to click, and this is crazy, but you have to like click the trends and click the trending topic to see like funny ass tweets
Yeah.
on
'Cause
a
I
trending
just
I do that
topic.
all the
and
time,
It's
yeah.
like
Right.
like gambling shit.
Yeah, you got to get into the trends.
yeah.
You got to click around.
The trends are a lot of fun.
And also you need to figure out who John Mayer is. Let's just end it. Let's just
Yeah.
end the show.
All right, ladies, let's get into our voicemails. As usual, we had 1 million people calling in. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Let's start it off with Bad Therapist.
Hey ladies, love listening to the podcast. Just wanted to call in because I saw this week one of the topics was therapy, and I kind of wanted to share kind of like a therapy horror story that I had. So during the pandemic, a lot was going on. I lost a lot of friends, got dumped. It was really tough, and I basically went to a therapist, and I just kind of needed someone to talk to during quarantine, as we all did. Anyways, she ended up telling me basically that everything that was happening in my life was my fault. Raising her voice at me, just like saying things like, you know, it's your fault you got dumped, things like that, when ultimately all of the things that happened were just really messed up and none of them were my fault. So I eventually, you know, figured out that she was kind of toxic, and I just wanted to talk about it because I feel like nobody thinks about the fact that their therapist could make them worse, which happened to me. And nobody thinks about the fact that therapy can be toxic sometimes, and we should normalize, you know, moving therapists or switching if that's what's best for us. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for making the podcast. I love it. I listen to it like every time it comes out, as soon as it drops, and I love you guys all. Bye.
Snuck in
like
a
what
little
Rhea said.
gas up at the end
That's
there.
fucking crazy.
It is crazy. And it is just like what you said. That's
Yeah.
I thought it was
you
appropriate.
You got to feel it out. I mean, that person was clearly a piece of shit therapist who's going to blame everything on you. Yes, some things might be, but the reason you got dumped was not because of you, I bet. If fucked up things happen to you, it's
Also,
not your fault.
You don't need your therapist to say that to you. That's not, you don't come to your
No, that's
therapist
not
for like,
helpful.
you're like, oh, you got dumped because you're a piece of shit. Like, that's not what your therapist
no.
is supposed to do.
No.
That's fucked up. I'm glad that she shared that. Okay, let's do Twitter sugar babies.
Oh, fuck.
Hi, ladies. I'm calling about Twitter for this week's podcast. So I know Rhea kind of talked about this, how, you know, you could see your families like Twitter, you know, what they like on Twitter, whatever. Anyways, my friend's dad is a lawyer, so, like, he makes a lot of money, okay? Well, on Twitter, he's been liking, you know, like sugar babies, I guess, Instagram, I'm sorry. He's been liking Twitter, things on Twitter, sugar babies and then also strippers. And
Ooh, dirty lawyer.
it's mortifying, the things, and then they like tweet back at him and he likes those still. And honestly, I don't think he knows that people can see it, but it always comes up on my Twitter feed. So, yeah. Bye.
Sounded like she just needed to get that off her chest.
Yeah, it really did.
Like
She
that
and I
family
figured we
member
should
of
let
the
her.
porn that you caught. Yeah.
She was basically just like, I need to tell somebody this because
Yeah.
I'm witnessing it,
And it's
but don't
crazy.
do what I did. Don't go running telling people because
Don't
it's
tell
going to be
people.
awkward in the future.
It's gonna be you're the one that saw it. You're the one that
Yep.
told everyone.
Yep. And
it's
then
gonna be
you're going to
awkward
look like the
forever.
asshole.
So maybe they'll just listen to this podcast and hear it and be like,
Hopefully.
yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, there you go. Just send them this podcast. Send them an anonymous link to
Yeah.
their Twitter and be like, hey,
Oh my
FYI,
God, yeah.
here's the
Get,
minute
like,
mark.
Get one of those apps that creates a fake phone number.
Yeah.
I think Google does that. We have that's how we made the number for people to call.
You can do that too.
All right, let's round it out with truth about penises.
Oh, dick talk.
Hey guys, Rhea, Kelly, Bree, Noah, love you guys in the pod so much. I wanted to call because you've talked about it a few times, and I figured, like, what better time than now to set the story straight and to tell you the truth about uncircumcised penises and to put the slander to an end. My boyfriend of 3 years, who I will probably be with forever, is uncircumcised, and the first time we hooked up, I didn't even notice. Granted, I was wasted, but I probably wouldn't have ever caught on if he hadn't told me. I mean, it feels exactly the same. You don't notice any difference if you don't know there's a difference. So, I feel like there's such a stigma around uncircumcised dicks, but there really shouldn't be, because when it's hard, it looks almost exactly the same as just like a regular dick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yes, when it's soft, it looks a little weird, like it's got a little pink turtleneck or a scarf on or something, but I feel like all dicks look weird, so it's really not that different. But yeah, I just wanted to inform you guys of that for maybe future reference and hopefully defend my boyfriend's honor and pride a little bit. Let everybody know uncircumcised dicks are exactly the same. They're ugly. They're weird. They do exactly the same thing as a regular dick does. Thanks, guys. Can't wait to hear the new episode. Yeah. Thanks. Bye.
That went on way longer than I thought it would
It
about
did.
the dick.
Yeah.
It did. I don't think that I listened to the whole thing. I think I just heard set the truth straight about uncircumcised dick, and I was like, yes, we're playing this one.
Hey, you know what? Get that truth off, girl.
Yeah.
Protect your man's dick. If you want to
Yeah.
get out there and say, hey, everybody, stop the nonsense about uncircumcised
Stop
dick.
it.
Fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I needed that because I feel
Yeah.
that way about uncircumcised. I'm like, oh no,
Right. I'm
absolutely
like,
not.
oh,
Yeah, there's
God.
really not a
uncircumcised.
difference.
Right.
It's really-
it's still
it's-
a penis.
Yeah, it's the only thing in my brain stopping me from running away with an Italian man or something.
Seems
you
like
know?
a pee-pee.
Penises are
what do you
ugly
mean,
regardless.
Italian men are... Oh, wow.
Well, 'cause Europeans-
I guess my nano has an uncircumcised dick.
Ew,
That's really
Rhea.
weird.
Why'd you go there?
I don't know.
I hate that.
I hate
That was
that.
really
I just chose
weird.
Italians that seemed romantic, but I feel but European countries, it's not.
Creep.
That was so
That was weird. I
wanna
wish
cut
that you didn't
out.
say that. Yeah, I wish you didn't say it. But you can't cut it out now. You're telling the truth. It'd be a lie if we
Yeah.
took it out.
Yeah,
you got to
sure.
tell the truth. So that's it for our voicemails. Thank you to everyone, as always, for calling in. If you want to call in yourself, it is 551-258-3436.
All right. It is table read time, and this is perfect because it was a tea episode for therapy, and we are therapists in this. I am playing the therapist from, what is this, Couples Retreat?
Couples retreat.
Yeah, we already did a scene from this one before, right?
Yeah,
but it's
I
but
forgot.
This is a better
Yes.
scene. This is a better scene.
It just
Yeah.
made sense. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm playing the therapist. Rhea's playing Jason, and Kelly's playing Cynthia.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do it. Good old Jason Bateman.
All
Yep.
right.
I'd
My
fuck.
dream role.
His name in the movie
My
is also
dream man.
Jason.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know. Is he always named Jason? I feel like
It is a lot. Yeah.
He's always named Jason in the
Well,
movie.
they're probably just like, okay, we'll just use Jason.
I like it. It's a
because
good.
he's just Jason, man.
It works out. Yeah. Okay. And once people knew what we were going through, I think my cortisol levels just went through the roof because it's difficult to go through a very private struggle publicly.
I heard what you think, but you know what I'm really interested in is hearing about how you feel. Just tell her how you feel.
Well, I think if you looked at
No,
everything...
no. Don't explain about allegedly you feel. Just tell her how you feel in one word.
Sure. Angry.
Cynthia?
Judged.
See? Very good.
Yes.
Progress.
I'm excited.
Relieved.
That is it.
We're awesome at feelings.
We got to take it back. We can't.
Hold
We
on.
got to get quick into it.
Sorry. I didn't realize it was me right there.
Okay. Let's
All
take
right.
it back.
All right.
I only
take
have
it
like
back.
2 lines.
To see very good.
Okay.
See? Very good.
Yes.
Progress.
Excited.
Relieved.
That's it.
We're awesome at feelings.
Nice job today, guys.
That's all for today.
That's all for today.
Okay. All right. How did we do? Did we do good? Are we gonna make it?
Well, this is, our first session. We're not looking for an end result here. It's not a competition.
I get all that, but have you seen couples that are worse off than us? Yeah, or are we that far gone? You gonna put a numerical value on it, Doc? Like a 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Come on, hang on one second. What would you put us on?
Right where you are, sir.
What if someone put a gun to your head right now, said you have to answer this? Wait, let me take that back 1 second.
Yeah.
Let's take it back a few lines.
Roll it back, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
I'll take it back
Okay.
to, all right, how do we do? All right, how do we do? Did we do good? Are we going to make it?
Well, this is our first session. We're not looking for an end result here. It's not a competition.
I get all that, but have you seen couples that are worse off than us? Are we that far gone? You're going to put a numerical value on it? Like a 1 to 10, 1 being worst, 10 being best? Come on, where would you put us?
Right where you are, sir.
What if someone put a gun to your head right now, said you have to answer this second or I'll shoot? Are they going to make it? What would you say, huh? What would you say?
No one has a gun in the room, Mr. Smith.
It's hypothetical.
Fuck. I thought it was over. Take it back.
Okay, I'll take it back.
I'll take it back. Want me to take it back to no one has a gun.
Yeah.
What would you say?
No one has a gun to my head, Mr. Smith.
It's hypothetical.
This is not a place for inappropriate behavior, and you definitely don't pull a hypothetical fun.
Typo. I know.
I was like, what?
I know.
Am I
I'm
stupid?
I'm sorry.
This is not a place for inappropriate behavior, and you definitely don't pull a hypothetical fun on hypothetical fun. A hypothetical gun on your therapist.
Sorry.
Lovely.
We used to be so good at these.
Lovely.
And we really
we're trash. We're absolute trash.
Yeah,
I
we're
think
really
we
trash.
Were gonna get
We got to get better scenes.
I
That's
really
the thing.
thought
It's
that
like-
we were going to make it in the movies.
I did too.
And I
Yeah.
don't think so anymore.
I don't either.
I don't think that either.
Noah looked at us and said, I'm not even giving the
No,
award.
no one gets
Yeah,
it.
no
No one gets the award today.
Yeah, I was actually thinking, who gets it? I think that's good. No one.
No one gets this
enough.
award.
Not deserving. Yeah.
It's a bad effort by us all.
We're having a good